Hey guys, welcome to the video. Salt here. Today we're going to be going over the Viper Wraith. Now in this weapon series, I take a weapon, I build it out, and I test that weapon on its own merits, meaning I don't mix it with any kind of external factors that would increase weapon performance. That would be things like Warframes using abilities, pets putting statuses on enemies, things like that. I just build the weapon out by itself and I let the viewer make their own intelligent conclusions about what would happen if you add those external things. So also during the video, I'm going to leave this more for the gameplay. I'm going to be kind of ranting a little bit about First Descendant. So I've been playing a lot of that, but I've been having some issues with the farming and a little bit of like the greediness with the monetization of it. And I did some numbers that I'll kind of go over just during the gameplay, just in the background. I can kind of just talk about it while I'm playing. And also, just for anyone that doesn't know, Warframe 1999, there was a big announcement with the whole TennoCon thing that happened. There's not like exact information, but they showed us a lot of the stuff that was going on. And from what I gather, now this is just me putting all the information together, is that Warframe 1999, when that finally does drop, we're going to be getting a dating sim added to the game. You're going to be able to pick one of a few different bangable Warframes, okay? With Volt being one of the possible bangable Warframes, all right? Also, motorcycle drift racing. And infested liches were confirmed. However, they take the form of a boy band that you likely have to dance battle to defeat. All right, let's get into the Viper Wraith here. So it was suggested, actually, the Viper Wraith was suggested a while ago, but I had done the Twin Vipers Wraith because I had assumed it was stronger than the Viper Wraith. I actually had sold my Viper's Wraith. So I had to rebuy Viper Wraith when Barrow came with TennoCon here. So I rebought it and I formatted it up, and that's why we have the video here today. So yeah, I did the twin Viper Wraith video a week or two ago, but we're going to redo, or I shouldn't say redo, I mean this is a different weapon. We're going to do the Viper Wraith, which is the single little submachine gun pistol. So this one was suggested by BBSK Studio. And we have the top commenter of the last video, which is Sothurian. Or Sothurain, I'm hoping I'm saying that right. He was saying in the last video that he can't believe that Voidrig didn't get first place for the cosplay contest for TennoCon. And I agree. The person that was Voidrig was crazy. He put a lot of work into his costume there. I really think Voidrig should have gotten first place. I think he ended up getting second, but I was a little bit salty about that as well. And then we have the first commenter of the last video, Wooski. All right, let's get into Viper Wraith here. Okay, so interesting things about the Viper Wraith. Not really too much. So it's a secondary weapon. It's a machine pistol, and it has specific augments that only the Viper Wraith can use. Actually, I was not able to use these on the dual Viper's Wraith, so we're able to actually test these out with the regular Viper Wraith. So let me just type in Viper, because there's a couple of them. So there's Stinging Truth, and then there's Skull Shot. Now, Stinging Truth isn't that great. It's magazine capacity and then +1 truth. Syndicate effects are usually not good enough to like justify putting on your weapon. They're just more like an added bonus if the actual stat on that mod is good enough, and the stat on this mod is not good enough. So Stinging Truth is not an option. Skull Shots, I kind of undervalued this. I think it's actually going to do quite well. So I believe I was originally undervaluing Skull Shots. So we're going to try it on this weapon here. So this is going to, on a headshot, we get 100% ammo efficiency for 2 seconds. One of the weaknesses of the dual Viper's Wraith, and remember the dual Viper can't use this, unfortunately, is that it blows through its magazine and it has to reload. Blows through its magazine and then it has to reload. It's losing so much DPS because it has to keep reloading over and over. And the actual damage it's doing is not really great. And it's going to be similar here too, where the damage that the Viper Wraith does is also not going to be that great, but you're able to stay on target and kind of blast through enemies. So that's why we're going to be using Skull Shots there. So yeah, that's unique with the Viper. And then the differences between the Viper Wraith and the dual Viper Wraith, and actually one of the reasons I got rid of the Viper Wraith is because the dual Viper Wraith is pretty much better in everything except for accuracy. So I was like, well, the dual Viper, obviously better than the Viper Wraith. But I think this Skull Shot mod might actually make it at least be the same, maybe even better than the dual Viper's Wraith. We'll see. So in the dual Viper Wraith video, in 10 minutes, it actually couldn't get to 10 minutes. We ran out of air because we were killing so slow. But we were assuming that in 10 minutes, it would have finished at about 200 kills. So our goal in 10 minutes is to be at about 200 or more kills. Okay, let's go over the mods here. So we're going to have Galvanized Diffusion for multi-shot. We're going to have Galvanized Crosshairs for crit chance. We're going to have Skull Shots. It's going to let us blow through our ammo. Well, not really, actually. We get our ammo for free, so. But it just lets us keep shooting. Lethal Torrent is going to give us fire rate and multi-shot. Now, in the dual Viper Wraith, we did not use Lethal Torrent. It's because it's actually a hindrance on the dual Viper Wraith, because you have such ammo issues, and you don't really want to be blowing through your magazine even quicker than you need to. But on the Viper Wraith, because you get free ammo from Skull Shots, we can use Lethal Torrent. So we will be using it on this build here. Creeping Bullseye for crit chance. Prime Target Cracker for crit damage. And then in the last two slots, we're going to have our elements. We're going to go with Viral. So Pistol Pestilence for the 60-60 Toxin. Frostbite for the 60-60 Cold to make Viral. In the Exilus slot, we're going to be going with Steady Hands. And then in the Arcane, we're going for Deadhead. So Deadhead gives us negative weapon recoil, but it doesn't completely eliminate the recoil. You need to use both Steady Hands and Deadhead to completely eliminate the recoil. I think Steady Hands is going to be your best Exilus, though, because you do really want to get headshots. You don't want your weapon kicking all over the place. You really do want to try to get as many headshots as possible so you can stay in free ammo mode. Because there is some okay Exiluses you could pick otherwise, but targeting subsystem was one I was really considering because the weapon is not super accurate. Like, it kind of sprays all over the place. You know, when you wake up in the morning, you take your first pee, and sometimes it's all over the toilet. It's kind of what the weapon feels like. So targeting subsystem will make it a little bit more accurate. But I think Steady Hands kind of maybe will eke it out as being better. The other thing, too, is that this weapon starts with a dash in the Exilus. So if you want targeting subsystems, you would have to, like, form it into it. Or over-forma something else on it. And again, it's not like 100% that this would actually even be better. I think Steady Hands might be better here. Alright, enough of the Exilus. For the Arcane, we're going for Secondary Deadhead. Secondary Deadhead is going to give us a 360% flat damage increase, a plus 30% headshot multiplier, and negative weapon recoil. That's perfect. And that's it. That's the build for the Viper right there. Now, because I do not mix this on anything, I'm going to be doing this on a big old dumb Anaros with no Archon shards that increase weapon performance. No mods or arcanes on the Anaros that increase weapon performance. And with a pet with no Sentinel weapon and no mods on the pet that increase weapon performance. Alrighty. Let's get into it here. We're going to do a Steel Path, 10-minute Mott mission. Make sure we're on solo so we don't get none of those stinky randoms with us. I love playing with randoms, though. I almost always play with randoms in normal gameplay. Alright, Steel Path, Mott. Okay, here we go. Should be good. That was the regular one. So yeah, we're just going to be trying to get headshots. And farming some enemies, seeing if we can beat the Twin Vipers. So yeah, I've been putting a lot of time into the First Ascendant. It's a game extremely similar to Warframe. And Destiny, I've heard, although I'm not a big Destiny player, so I don't know how close it is to Destiny. But it's extremely similar to Warframe. It's just that the actual monetization is extremely predatory compared to Warframe. I actually did a little bit of number crunching, and I actually went on some of the bigger First Ascendant YouTubers and put it in their comment section, so maybe they could add it to something eventually. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they'll give me credit. But the price, so as far as like the numbers that I obtained with First Ascendant versus Warframe, the price for 14 Warframes primed. So the price of 14 primed Warframes equals the price of one Ultimate Descendant. And this is using market values from yesterday. So market values of yesterday. And you have to keep in mind that First Ascendant does not have an open market yet. They've teased that maybe they will eventually have an open market system, but they don't have it yet. So, I mean, it could get better with First Ascendant, but as of right now, it is 14 Warframes, Prime Warframes, equal 1 Ultimate Descendant. One of First Ascendant's potatoes, or I think what do they call them? Energy activators in First Ascendant, which is the same as a Warframe potato or an Orkin catalyst or Orkin reactor. So 1 First Ascendant potato is equal to 21 Warframe potatoes. It is a 21 times more expensive item, and it does the exact same thing. It increases mod capacity on like Descendants and weapons. So, like, I mean, that's ridiculous. 21 times? Like, if it was double, I'd be like, that kind of sucks, but whatever. 21 times, though. Oh, my goodness. You know, and the whole, like, a Prime Warframe versus Ultimate Descendant is 14 times. 14 times the cost. And I got these numbers, so it's pretty easy. You could, like, replicate the same thing. You can go on Warframe and look how much it is for a $100 pack. And so for $100 US, you get 2,100 platinum. You get 2,100 platinum. And for $100 US, you get on First Ascendant 5,750 caliber. So that translates into 21 platinum equals $1, and 57.5 caliber equals $1. And so with that calculation, you can basically compare items in both games and see what the real world cost is. And then you could look at the like how much more expensive one is to the other. And it was completely egregious. It was ridiculous. Let me grab some air in this other room here. I'm getting a little bit low. I'm able to pretty much spam this thing, though. I haven't really had to reload that often. Now, this may fail, too. You know, it may be like the Twin Vipers, where I'll eventually just completely run out of air because it's not killing quick enough. I mean, this is not like a super strong weapon. So, I mean, you can't really... I can't fault it if it runs out of air. I mean, that's okay if it happens. But yeah, the cost difference, oh my goodness. And the reason I started running these numbers is, so I'm mostly a free-to-player. And what was annoying me in First Descendant was that I've been trying to grind for an Enzo part. Enzo is like a basic Warframe or a basic Descendant. I've been trying to grind for an Enzo part for about 20 to 28 hours now, and it has not dropped. So I have a 28-hour farm on an Enzo part. Granted, it's the hardest Enzo part. I think it's the rarest part. But I'm 20 to 28 hours into the farm with no item gotten yet. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is like, you know, and granted, I'm a 10 out of 10 in the sad sack of shit category. Like, I, you know, play too many games. So I have a lot of time to devote to do this stuff. Imagine, like, the dude that gets off of work and has, like, an hour or two to play. Like, he's never getting these things. Granted, I might have been getting, unlucky, but, I mean, oh my goodness, 20 to 28 hours unlucky. Oh. I haven't even tried to start grinding for an Ultimate Descendant yet. I'm just trying to get regular Enzo. And it's just not happening. So, I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, let me look at the monetization. And that's when I started realizing that it was... Oh my... Is this Malice? It is Malice. Oh, thankfully, the Viper's Wraith does not do good damage, so I wasn't really killing my... I wasn't doing enough damage to myself to put myself down. This is not going to kill the Acolyte very well. At all. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna cast my 3. My 3 only gives me armor and status immunity. It does not affect weapon performance. So don't worry. Malice got level on me again here. I have to run over to that life support 200 meters away. Probably hit the other one when it spawns too. So the Twin Viper's Wraith failed at 7 minutes and 50-ish seconds, or 7.5-ish minutes or something. So we might see this one fail at about the same time. We'll see. Maybe I can stabilize here. If I can get a nice narrow hallway, and if Malice doesn't harass me so much, I might be able to stabilize. I think if I try to fight Malice, though, I will not stabilize. I think I'll spend too much time trying to kill the Acolyte, and I'll just run out of air. I need to be able to kill trash to farm yellow life sports. Mag bubble on me again. I rolled. Should be off of myself. Yes, I went on Warframe Market and I had looked up every single prime set. So there's, I think I looked up 42 different primes. I think there's 42 total primes in the game right now. I could be off by like one if I might have missed like one. But I looked up 42 prime Warframes, and to buy every single prime Warframe in the game off of Warframe Market is 3,015 platinum as of the market values yesterday. That's going to fluctuate like every day. But as of the market values yesterday, to buy 42 primed Warframes, it's gonna be a messy fight, isn't it? Here, because I have the Acolyte up, I'm super low on air, so I'm gonna have to keep going back and forth for life supports. We kind of assumed that the Viper Wraith might not do super well. So yeah, you can buy 42 prime Warframes for 3,015 plat, which equates into 150 US dollars. Now, every single Ultimate Descendant is $52. Or, I mean, it's 3,000 caliber, the non-premium bundle. There's premium bundles as well, but the non-premium Ultimate Descendant bundles are $52 or 3,000 caliber, which translates into about $52. So that means 3 Ultimate Descendants for 42 primed Warframes, which is where I get the 14 Warframes per Descendant calculation, which comes out to being that First Descendant's about, character-wise, is about 14 times more expensive than Warframe. Again, keeping in mind that it does not have an open market yet, that it may eventually have an open market. All right, we ran out of air there. 150 kills. It got pretty much the same thing that the Twin Vipers got to. The Twin Vipers was about 150 to 175-ish kills, I think, in like 7.5 minutes. So this might have did a little bit worse than the Twin Vipers, but it was very close. Very close. 154 kills in 8 minutes, 47 seconds. I guess we maybe would have assumed if we had another minute and 20 seconds to make the full 10 minutes, that it might have gotten closer to 200, but I don't know if it actually would have hit that 200 mark. So I think the Skull Shots mod is good, but I don't know that it actually makes it, like, because of that mod, I don't know if that mod makes it stronger than the Twin Vipers. Granted, this is subjective, right? There's only one run. I would have to run like 5 runs with each to get like some kind of a somewhat average number out of it. But looking at only one run compared to another run, they're super similar. It's hard to say one's better than the other. Yeah, I was actually considering doing a full video today comparing Warframe to First Descendant, but I was like, I don't want to make like too much of a negative video. I was like, I'll just rant about it during the gameplay. So, so yeah, that's the video for today, guys. If you liked it, consider giving it a like. If you haven't subbed yet, consider subbing or tell me what I can do to earn your sub. And I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye.